The state had been reading the stack for years and years and years, and we had always been within the limits. And then suddenly they come in and say, well, you're out of compliance. Well, nothing had changed in the plant, but they had changed the way they read the plume coming out of the tower. So we said, okay, let's see what we can do to reduce the emissions coming out of the tower by whatever method you want to use to measure them. So we did a very extensive series of MVTs and basically took the opacity down from 40% to about 5%. They could have required what very expensive scrubbing, multi-million-dollar scrubbing units be placed on the tower. The experiments we did allowed us to do it at zero cost. I mean, we made no capital investment whatsoever. We just changed the operating conditions of the tower, and we did it with no change, no measurable change in the quality of the prill coming out the end of the process. At the extreme, the whole plant would have been shut down if we had not solved the problem one way or another. But you know, probably the fairest measure is we avoided a multi-million-dollar capital project and hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines.
The state was interested in an update. They said, why don't you bring your story up? And we went up to Austin, a team of us. We took the data up there and we showed them what we were doing. They had already gone ahead and they've had experience in the area with other folks that had problems with inorganic one. They'd recalculated lower permit limits for us. And when I saw the limits they had, it would have meant a shutdown for the production unit. Floral Products would have been shut down. Based on the strength of the tests that we had done up to that point in time, they said we don't need to adjust that permit. So this was a tremendous timely victory for us. We averted a potential regulatory shutdown, either through having the permit conditions lowered or getting into a chronic failure where they would have just shut us down. So conservatively, just multiplying this by 18 days, we believe that through the use of this MVT process, we averted a $4.5 million loss to this business unit.
But LaRoche and the state got together and negotiated that there was a need for a reduction in NOx, and the number they put down was 90% reduction. And that's a significant amount. We were able to reduce the absorber NOx from the Montecatini plant by 36%. Also, we found we were able to reduce the Weatherly absorber NOx by 60%. This resulted, when you add in the NOx abatement experimenting and improvements, that we were able to reduce total NOx by 96% and 95% respectively.
We had a high payoff goal for this, and it was to reduce the CO emissions, carbon monoxide emissions from the recovery boiler. Some of our factors in the MVT were playing with the air in the boiler. Reduction efficiency of the sulfur compounds. There were a couple of items in here that we thought would help a lot, and there were some of us in the group were very strongly opinioned as to what we thought would help and what wouldn't. The air temperature we thought would be a big factor. We found out that the air temperature was insignificant. We wouldn't have known that without doing this MVT process. The lower the CO, the better the boiler's running. We have a requirement from the DEP to run 500 parts per million or less. We were able to achieve that, and the biggest thing was a very simple thing like cleaning the liquor gun off. Somebody going out and physically cleaning off that liquor gun, that was our biggest bang. Did it cost us anything? No. We have a lower CO. Our ability to have a lower CO to meet our air emissions licenses, less particulate because of the lower CO, which is the stuff that comes out the stack that DEP and the EPA don't want to see out there. Neither do we. Better environmental performance all around. So
the beauty of this system is that it allows refinery input based on data. And I think someone mentioned in one of the talks yesterday about sitting down with their folks and saying something to the effect, they had some kind of idea and they said, without data, you're just another pretty face. I'd like to take that one step further and say, without information, you're just another pretty face. Because if you don't process your data into information, it may not tell you what you need to know. This is a process, or a method for processing the data that you have into information. Okay, so what are the advantages of this type of a technique? Optimum manufacturing specifications. We feel like this is the optimum level that we can get to for setting specifications. We hold our risk to whatever management is willing to take, and we minimize giveaway as much as we possibly can at that risk level. We can set targets to blend to that take into account the risk level and the specification level, so that we can control the process. And the bottom line, it allows us to minimize giveaway, provides for continuous improvement, improves profitability, and promotes consistent quality.